Guard keeping us on time, right on time. Thank you very much. My name is Tim Cody. I'm the president of the Fox Valley Veterans Council. We get the honor and privilege of doing the county's Veteran Day ceremony every year. I'd like to thank Tom and his crew for helping us every year assist to do this and giving us the privilege of doing this ceremony. I'd like to thank Representative Lee Snodgrass for coming in, council members from the city of Appleton, Representative Dave Murphy, and Sydney Fassel. Where's Sydney? Did I say that right? Faisal. Senator Cabral-Guevara's representative for coming here as well. We have a very short, sweet, but special program today. We're going to have a national anthem by Joseph Scala. And if anyone ever heard him sing, it's always an experience. We're going to have the Fox Valley Heirs do some musical pieces for us. Participation by the American Legion Scarlet Guard and the Rifle Salute team from the Appleton Legion Post 38 are also participating. And I thank you very much for that. But our special guest is going to be guest speaker CW3 Aaron Hunnell, and I'll talk a little bit more about him after our national anthem. Joseph.
Right shoulder, heart. Breathe and heart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, heart. Parade, breath.
Thank you, Joseph. That was absolutely inspiring. Every time I hear that, it makes me want to go put my uniform back on, run out in the field, run onto a football field. It's just very inspiring every time. You've done that so many times for us, so thank you very much. At this time, I just want to move right into our guest speaker. He is CW3 Aaron Hunnell. That's a Chief Warrant Officer for the Wisconsin National Guard. He served 20 years in the Wisconsin National Guard. He's had multiple deployments in the combat. And after those, he discovered that he was, struggling with his own physical and mental health after these deployments. And so he developed a passion for wellness and resiliency. He is a certified Level 2 Master Resilience Trainer, and a certified intrinsic coach. He has built a behavioral change leadership course, which has been integrated nationally within the DoD. He's the founder and the director of the Comprehensive Health and Wellness Program in the Wisconsin National Guard. And to top all this off, he's done all this, he decided that he was going to do a 3,000-mile bike ride across the country to help suicide. He did it in 22 days from California to Maryland. So you can see not only his passion for being in the service, doing a career, but also his passion for taking care of veterans. And really that's what today is all about, is for us to recognize our veterans, to recognize what they've done, and to take care of those who have made that sacrifice and are still here. So without further ado, I present CW3 Aaron Hunnell.
I was a little taken back when Tim invited me to come talk to you all today because I got a C in high school speech class. And then I remembered, I was like, oh wait, I got this fine education at UW-Fox Valley, and I took a speech class there and I got a B+. Right. Woo! On Veterans Day, today is about remembering those who have served our country, who have paid a sacrifice to protect this great country and make America what it is so that we are safe and we are free. So today what I want to do is I want to tell you about 3 of my favorite veterans and the lessons that I learned along the way. The first veteran, and it is in order of precedent, is my wife, Marissa. So, yes. Marissa and I met when I was 19 years old and she was 18 years old in the Wisconsin Army National Guard, right? I would like to say it was love at first sight. It was for me, but not necessarily for her. But we started dating and built a friendship and a relationship. She actually convinced me to move from Tomah, Wisconsin, which is this little old farming community over by La Crosse on the other side of the state, here to the Fox Valley. And it was life-changing for me because I didn't know how important this community would be in my life. Marissa comes from a family of veterans, so her grandfather, Pete Smuchik, served in World War II. So when the 32nd Brigade, which is the largest deployment for the Wisconsin Army National Guard, when they were called up in the 2009-2010 deployment, Marissa went on that deployment with the 32nd Brigade. And you know who was standing there by her side for that send-off? Her grandpa Pete. It wasn't me, though. It was Grandpa Pete. If you want to learn more about Pete and the mission that he did, you can read the Ghost Mountain Boys. They were part of the mission for Papua New Guinea during World War II. And so I got a chance to meet Pete and have conversations with him. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I love about being a veteran is the bond that we share from shared experiences, even though they're not the same. Where I got a chance to meet some veterans before this talk today, and the connection is almost instantaneous, right? It spans across differences, our backgrounds, our history, our beliefs, generations, and we find a way to come together. And so I find a lot of power in that. So Marissa and I were actually deployed at different times, or at the same time, but different places. So I was at Cobb Adder, Iraq in 2009, and she was at Camp Buka. And so lucky enough, I was able to go, I'm a legal administrator, that's one of my professions, and I was able to convince my commander to go do some legal work at Camp Buka, and I got a chance to see Marissa. So I took a Black Hawk ride in Iraq to go visit my wife, which I thought was pretty cool. Fast forward, we came back and we found a way to support each other over the years. I'll tell you, in my family, the military has definitely given more than it's taken. And what I learned being with Marissa as my favorite veteran is that love is very important to have in life. And whether you're a veteran, a Wisconsinite, a cheesehead, or an American, or just a person in general, we all need love and support with a person and a best friend. And I'd like to say, Marissa, you are that for me, and I love you very much. So love is that first lesson that I learned from my favorite veteran. The second veteran that I want to tell you about is Clarence Hartley. Clarence Hartley was a retired lieutenant colonel from Georgia. He served in the Air Force and served through 2 wars, finishing in Vietnam with over 100 combat missions. I met Clarence in Boston, Massachusetts, when we were both the honorees for Patriots Day for the Boston Marathon. It's a pinnacle marathon that people from all over the world come to run. So I met Clarence, and he was the oldest runner of the Boston Marathon that year. Clarence qualified because of his time, how fast he ran. He was able to get into Boston. I qualified because I had done the Boston Marathon satellite race the year before while in Talil, Iraq. I never considered myself a runner. Running was always punishment for me growing up, right? Playing sports. I used to hate running a mile. What Clarence taught me was that we need to persevere through challenges that we put in our own way, and we have to find a way to go from where we are to where we want to be. What's fascinating about Clarence is that he didn't start running deliberately until 68 years old. And along his journey, he was diagnosed with cancer, not once, but twice. And running, he says, is what helped him stay healthy and well. And when I met Clarence and he took me under his wing and he became a mentor for me, what I learned from him is that we need to be able to do hard things, and we need to be able to persevere, and we need goals and challenges in life, because when we tackle those hard times, we get stronger. And what happens in that process is the things that used to be hard get easier because we're stronger. That's what Clarence taught me. The third veteran that I want to tell you about is Ken Brown. So Ken is a person that I trust with my life. I met Ken, who was a drill sergeant. He's got 19 years of service. He's been deployed, he'll tell you one time officially, but he's been on like 4 deployments, because that one was a combat deployment. And we were just out duck hunting yesterday, and we were talking and just, building our friendship. And what I love about Ken, because I met him in one of the courses that we teach for our comprehensive health and wellness program. And what I learned from Ken is that teamwork is so critical to have in life. Because if you're going through life alone, you don't have love, you're not doing hard things, and then you don't have a team, it can make you lose hope. And that despair can take you to a dark place. I've been there. It's tough. It can feel like there's nowhere that you can go where there is light. And that's what teamwork and connection really helps you do. So Ken and I started building our relationship together when we were doing these courses for the Wisconsin National Guard. And we were picked up by National Guard Bureau and some other national Department of Defense entities, and we started taking our curriculum on the road. So we were traveling the country talking about health, wellness, and resilience. But what I was taking away from that experience with Ken was a friendship, a bond where I just felt like I could trust Ken with anything. And there was no problem that we couldn't tackle because we were doing it together. So in 2020, I asked Ken to join me for this bike ride across the country as my crew chief. And this bike ride across the country was meant to raise funds to put bikes in the hands of veterans. A ride to stop suicide. We know that mental health is a challenge in the veteran community. And what I believe is that tools help solve problems, and we need tools to solve problems. If we don't have tools, then we can't solve problems, and a bike is that tool to help solve the problem of connection, purpose, and hard work. And so Ken said yes, and I considered him my firefighter, my metaphorical firefighter, because the adversity that we were about to willingly encounter, he would help keep us going. And so he was the critical piece to this team. And so a few days in, I got heat stroke, and I had to go to the emergency room just outside of California. We were in the desert, and it was 110 degrees while we were biking those first few days. And Ken had my back the whole time, and we talked with the doctor, and we found a way to get back in the saddle. I actually didn't bike day 3. He did. He took my place for a day. And the mission continued. We got to Kansas, which people ask me, what was the least favorite state to bike through? What was the hardest? And I'm like, Kansas. They're like, huh? I'm like, the wind. And it's boring because it's flat. He took the lead and rode in front of me so that I wouldn't have to use as much energy as we were going across the country. We made it to Gettysburg, and we biked through Gettysburg. And we were reflecting on the 50,000 service members that lost their lives to protect this great country and to make it what it is today. So I'm really thankful for Ken and the lesson that I got on teamwork. This is my community. You know, I went to school at UW Fox Valley, then UW Fox Valley. Marissa and I, we lived over in the old paper mills apartments. We used to work at Pullman's together. We did a lot of stuff together, actually, now that I think of it. This is my community, and I love this community, Appleton, the Fox Valley. I'm so thankful and appreciative to be part of it. So with that, I want to say thanks to Tim, John, and the Fox Valley Veterans Council, to the mayor, and to the city of Appleton and the Fox Valley for inviting me to be your speaker today. And I'll leave you with this as we find a way to keep supporting one another, whether you're a veteran or whether you're a civilian, because we need all of the support with each other, is that if you're looking for some different ways to help veterans and to make this community even better, don't forget, we need love. We need to do hard things to build our strength. And we need teamwork. We need connection. We have to do it together because we can't do it alone. We need to be strong enough to stand alone and smart enough not to. Because if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those words, Aaron. I think that really kind of expresses this day for me in the community when he talks about that connection, because this is where your job is, to have this day and to connect with our veterans, because some of them don't have what Aaron has been able to find. Some of them are still out there, and they're still struggling. And so as a community, when we do this, just that simple acknowledging him on this day might be able to keep somebody out of those depths. And so I thank the community for doing this every year and to continue that. Next, we'll move on to some beautiful songs by the Fox Valley Airs.
Praise
freeze, and heart. Ready?
That concludes our ceremony today. I thank everybody who assisted us, particularly that beautiful music by our two group of artists. It was awesome. Aaron, for your inspirational words, thank you so much. Our Post 38 Rifle Squad and the Color Guard for supporting, and of course, again, Outagamie County and Tom, thank you so much. Our VIPs for coming. I will leave one word with you. People always ask, what can we do to support our veterans? And there's tons of things to do, tons. But the number one thing is to go out there and to be a citizen worthy of their service. So that is what I ask you to do. Go and have a great, great Veterans Day. Honor your veterans, tell them thank you, and have a good day.